Good morning. Good morning. And thank you for being here. This is the Gwinnett Democratic Women's Saturday, September 23, 2023 special guest speakers Your Vote Matters event, followed immediately by the closed GDW members business meeting. We are so glad that you're all here with us. Just some notes before we begin. To become a member of the GDW, please go to www.gwinnettdemocraticwomen.org and click the 2024 dues link. We would love to have you. Yes, we would. We would love to have you join GDW for 2023 and 2024. FYI, the Gwinnett Democratic Women's Organization is a part of the Georgia Federation of Democratic Women, which is part of the National Federation of Democratic Women. If you don't know us, go to the GDW website and definitely check us out. And then by searching on either our Facebook page or the website, you'll find the links for the Georgia Federation of Democratic Women and the National Federation of Democratic Women. One more introduction. I don't see her yet, but I have been so pleased to hear that Ms. Beulah Nash Tishi will be here today. If she is here, and I don't see her yet, so we may have to intervene and interrupt for a second. Ms. Nash Tishi is the third vice president for the Georgia Federation of Democratic Women, and I will be thanking her once she does appear, and she has an extremely busy schedule also. I will thank her for being here. So one more time, now that we're hitting that 9:30 mark. Good morning, new and returning GDW members. Good morning to the audience that includes newcomers and friends. We're delighted that you're here with us today for this open to the public guest speaker, Your Vote Matters event. And GDW members, please be reminded again that there is a closed business meeting that will follow our speakers. Thank you all so much for being here. Again, my name, for those of you who don't know me, is Dr. Tracy Fisher, and I am the president of the Gwinnett Democratic Women. For more information, go to www.gwinnettdemocraticwomen.org or to our Facebook page, which is Gwinnett Democratic Women, and then a backslash. So I'm going to share my screen because we have the program here before I introduce our special guest. And I hope you can see the screen and me. Our first special guest. And we have a great deal to discuss today. But before we start that, I would remind everyone who is in the room to please put themselves on mute. Also, if you would please close your screen out, close the video out, except for Sheriff Taylor, who was our first guest, because we want to focus on the sheriff. He's our sheriff. And I have to introduce him first. Hi, Sheriff Keybo. How are you this morning? I'm going to give you your introduction, but I wanted you to say hi first, so I know your mic is able to work.
Good morning. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Right.
Again, all the other speakers and guests, please put your video on close. Close out your video. We are focusing on the sheriff right now. You'll all each have your own introduction. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to start the slideshow, Sheriff. I'm going to try to do this right. You know, I don't like technology, but we're going to try to do it. Slideshow presentation from the beginning. There we go. I'm going to go to this slide. Okay, so on November 3rd, 2020, Sheriff Keybo Taylor was elected the first African-American sheriff in Gwinnett County. This native of Lawrenceville, Georgia, joined the Gwinnett County Police Department in 1983. His 29 years of law enforcement experience included undercover investigations that encompassed the Criminal Investigation Division, and the Special Investigations Section. By 94, Sheriff Taylor was assigned to the FBI Drug Task Force. In 1995, he became the first African American to be promoted to sergeant. He continued his career as a supervisor in the Uniform Division. Taylor also served as a first-line supervisor in Special Ops, the COPS program, and Criminal Investigations, the Narcotics Squad. In 2000, Taylor was promoted to lieutenant and served as unit commander leading the Gwinnett County Drug Task Force. By 2007, Sheriff Taylor received his appointment as major. He was the, again, first African American within the Gwinnett County Police Department to achieve the rank of major. As a major, he managed both the East and South precincts. Sheriff Taylor's credits a significant portion of his career advancement to his educational and professional development. He holds a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Mercer University and a master's degree in public administration from Columbus University. I am so pleased and proud to introduce and have as our very special guest speaker and my friend, Sheriff Keybo Taylor. Please give him a round of applause.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Sheriff Taylor.
How you doing? Hey, why
I'm
do you
doing
go ahead and tell them that you and I have known each other ever since our kids was in elementary school, okay?
Yes, our boys were
That's
in
more important than
elementary
anything
together.
else you said up here is the fact that we've had that type of relationship. And you also could have told them that when I was with the FBI task force, man, that's where I got to really know and understand your husband. And
Yes, sir.
I don't know if we worked any cases or anything together, but we sure enough shared that same ground together back in those days.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And again, I think I always have said to you, my goodness, it was wonderful meeting somebody actually from Lawrenceville, actually from Gwinnett. That just used to tickle me. So you know this landscape inside and out. And I thought you would be really phenomenal in speaking to our audience about the importance of your job, also the importance of voting this fall as well as next fall. And a lot of our Gwinnetians and actually people across the state do not know about both of those things, that they need to vote both ways. So we're going to start with your first question. Sheriff Taylor, it's right up here. Please dive right in and let the audience know just how important local leadership is in respect to the scope and nature of how the sheriff's office impacts Gwinnett County residents directly.
Thank you very much. And first of all, let me say thank you for giving me this opportunity. Never shy away from anything that is going to get our message out. That within itself, we is local, and I consider this, anything that is countywide as a local election, whether it's county, whether it's city. These are the elections that actually impact our day-to-day lives in whatever area that you're in. And for the sake of this, we're speaking about Gwinnett County. So when we're talking about, how we manage our school systems, how we manage local government, how we manage local law enforcement, these are the elections that are the most important. And even though we may not get the same media coverage or that these other, either state or national elections get, when it comes to our day-to-day life, it's that trickle-down effect. And so we're going to be the ones out here that's making these decisions on, how our schools are ran. We're going to be the ones that are making the decisions on how much taxes you pay, what your recreation looks like out here in Gwinnett County, what your roads look like, what the county facilities look like, and what services that you get. That is the reason why these elections are just as, if not more important than any other state or state or national elections.
Thank you so much for making that very clear, because it's a message that has to resonate with everyone. And it's kind of confusing. I must admit, no matter who you are, you can be confused about, okay, do I vote when? Who do I vote for? And we're going to try to give some clarification to that today. So this rolls into question 2. We know that the race for sheriff in Gwinnett is not until 2024, yet there are elections for city councils in Gwinnett and in counties across Georgia on November 7th, 2023. That's coming up soon. Why must Democratic Georgians, and there's this piece, prioritize voting in both 2023 and 2024?
Yes. Last week I had the opportunity to speak to some young folks, and what I saw was the what I would call the lack of interest in elections. And you know, in my own way, as a 63-year-old man trying to talk to young people, I'm telling them, hey, this, you may not see the importance of this election that is coming up right now, but the city elections that we have coming in, we need to have just as great of a turnout, the support for these candidates as we do, you know, when we get ready to look at the elections for 2024. Because again, like I say, these are the more important elections that are going to affect them. So what I mean by that is this: we're going to continue to have these young people, man, and give them something to feed on so that we can draw that interest in them and get them in. And they get to decide whether they want to be Democrat or Republican, depending upon, you know, whichever way they want to go. But we do have to be the ones that give them that voice. And we do have to give them that opportunity and that push that they need to make sure that they come out and be a part. This is our future, okay?
And you're right. They have to be informed and they have to know who they're voting for. They've got to be told or shown to make that effort to find out, correct?
That's correct. That's correct. And, you know, and we need, you know, everybody needs resources to make sure that we get those messages out. So, you know, I'm not doing a campaign pitch for anybody or anything, but, you know, we do have to get involved and whoever your candidate may be, okay, get behind them, give them that support, help them with whatever you can do with the resource to help them get that message out. Whether we agree or disagree, it is important that these people hear what we bring to the table so that they can make those informed decisions on who they want to vote for.
Absolutely. And on your website, this is question 3, Sheriff, there is posted the wonderful phrase, promises made, promises kept. Please explain promises made by you and your team and kept since 2020, and try to be brief.
Yes. I'm not going to go in and list up all of the promises that we made or the promises that we kept, but what I can say is that before I started talking about what I wanted to do as sheriff, I listened. Okay, I went on what I call a listening tour to hear what the people were actually saying, to get the pulse and the heartbeat of Gwinnett County and see what the citizens needed and what the citizens wanted. Out of everything that we have done, and I mean, people can go back in and check and see, you can check off the box to see if we did what we said we were going to do. But the most important thing that I said I was going to do is change the culture of this agency, okay? And I'm very happy about the direction that this agency is going as far as the culture, as far as use of force, unnecessary force, excessive force, how we greet and how we meet the citizens here in Gwinnett County, to make sure that these folks know that we're the sheriff for everybody. I don't care what your color is. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what your religion is. We're going to show that we're responsive for any and everybody that needs the services of the sheriff's office. Was that brief?
Yes, that was great. Because I know you could go on because you've done a lot. You've done so much for this county, and I know the people know it. So this leads into question 4. What grade? I give you a 10. What grade from 1 to 10 would you give yourself and your team right now on what has been accomplished on your watch as Gwinnett County Sheriff? 1 is the lowest, whereas 10 is the highest.
I'm gonna give myself a 6.5 or a 7, but I'm gonna give my staff a 9. All right. Excellence. Okay, we'll never get perfection, but we can always strive for excellence. So we don't never stop. So to say it's a 10 mean that we've hit that mark, and I don't believe we've hit that mark. We still have more work to do. That's the reason why I'm asking for another chance to be a sheriff one more time. As for myself, I've made some mistakes, all right, and I'm the first to admit it. There were some things that I thought coming in the door we will be able to get accomplished, and we wanted to get accomplished quick. Some things we work, some things I found out that it's taken more. But as far as myself, I can, tell you here, I won't stop. All right. I can admit where I've come up short, but I can tell you that every day we come in with that same goal to do the best we can for the people here in Gwinnett County.
And I can say with an open heart, your integrity speaks volumes, as does your personality. I can make him cry. I'm the only one who can do that outside of family. But I'm so thankful that you took the time to be with us here this morning. I know your plate is full today. So again, I appreciate you being here. And if there are any questions for you, I will definitely get those questions to you and answer them through you for our members and for our audience. So thank you, Sheriff. Have a great afternoon.
Okay, and thank you for everybody that participated in on this. And let me say, for all of the candidates that are coming up behind me, I wish you the best of luck. Anything that we can do for you from the sheriff's office, let me know.
Thank you, Sheriff. Have a good day. Thank you so much to Sheriff Keybo Taylor for stopping by to speak with GDW members and friends this morning. We greatly appreciate him. He's a wonderful person and just such a kind-hearted person who wants to do his best, as he said, on behalf of the people. And there are more guest speakers you'll hear from today. There's some excited candidates running this coming November 7th. Remember what the sheriff said, we have to pay attention to voting this fall and next year. They're here to introduce themselves and explain why they're either running or running to be reelected. Only recently have many local positions across Georgia been relabeled nonpartisan by that other party that shall go nameless. You know how I feel about this. Only recently, as I said, local positions, and I repeat it, have been labeled nonpartisan by that other party. And that other party's goal is really very clear: to confuse, suppress, and stop Democratic Party representation and values in government. We must know who is and has always been a Democrat and who is not and never was before November 7th. Leopards don't change their spots overnight. And we all of the voters who vote democratically need to be aware of that, and so they need to be informed. And we hope that this program will do that. Nonpartisan labels are being used in Georgia and across this country as smokescreens to suppress voter participation locally. Know who you're voting for is really the answer to that. And again, the reason why we are doing this kind of presentation before the November election. Early voting for municipal candidates, that means the candidates who are running this fall, begins on October the 16th. That is coming up fast and furious. I've got an audience to-do list before I bring on some of these candidates to speak who are just excited and exciting. The first thing to do for those in the audience is to please now check your voter registration status and also see if you can pull up a sample ballot for November 7th, 2023. This too is tricky. If you live in an unincorporated city, you may not be voted, so you need to check. If you live in an incorporated city limits, you likely are voting. Update your address if you have moved. If you haven't updated that in a while and you have moved, you got a really short timeline to do that. Did you get married? And if so, did you change your name? Make sure that's updated as well. Number 3, as said several times already, municipal elections are this November. Mark your calendar now for October 16th, the first day that early in-person voting starts. Again, election day is November 7th. Number 5, understand now that this fall 2023, you're voting for your local representative. Sheriff Taylor stressed that. That is true. Number 6, understand now that there are 16 municipal cities in Gwinnett County. Who are you voting for? Where do you live? You need to go to that website. Those of you who are members did receive this entire package presentation, so you should easily be able to click that link and find out who, what, where, when. Number 7, understand now that you need to go to the candidates' websites. You do, where you live, and read about whom and what the candidates value and what their priorities will be once elected. If you don't know that before you go to vote, it's going to be confusing, and we don't want you confused. So there are prepared questions for Gwinnett County, Georgia municipal local council candidates, which are below. Those of you who are members will remember these questions because you received them early. Those of you who are just seeing them now, please read through the questions. They're very, very simple introductory questions so that you find out a little bit about them. On the other side, we have prepared questions for the Gwinnett County candidates for school board for 2024. Same thing. Read the questions. They're very introductory questions, so you get an idea of who they are. To find out more about these candidates, I strongly advise you to go to their websites. First up, Miss Erica Pope. Erica, are you there? We're going to keep on this schedule. I see you're there. Can you turn on your video screen? And also, can you please open up your mic? Erica, you're first. I know you're here.
Hi. It took forever for me to click on it.
That's okay. I'm pretty speedy. So I wanted to let you know, and everybody else here today know, that you all are on a kind of a timer so we can get everybody through. But if there's time after everyone speaks and there are questions in the chat, we'll revisit that. But
Okay.
you know what but you know what the questions are, and I'm going to say them once so that everybody hears them.
Okay.
Please briefly introduce yourself, name, education, background, family, career. Why, this is number 2, why are you running for election or re-election? And number 3, what are some of your core political values and views? Your values concerning the topics below, which everybody should be able to see, and please explain them. Your time starts now, and there is a timekeeper.
All right. Good morning. I'm Erica Pope. I am running for Decula City Council. I've been in Decula since 2016. I have a husband and 2 daughters who both go to the Decula cluster schools. I graduated from Auburn University with a bachelor's in social work and also a master's in human resource management leadership. My background is social work, so I do a lot of community engagement in my personal time, in my off time. That's kind of what gravitated me to run for city council. To be quite honest, I'm running because I understand that policy discussions start at the local level, just like Sheriff Keybo stated. You cannot talk about things at the top if you don't start at the bottom. And I really want to be that individual that starts those conversations that are so important to me and that I know that are important to my city. Decula is 80% home ownership. That means we all moved here to Decula because we want to live here and stay here. And so over the years, Decula has become very diverse. And I would like our leadership to reflect that. And so currently our leadership kind of stays the same. Nobody gets contested. Everybody just kind of stays in that same little vacuum. And unfortunately, that's not good enough for me anymore. So my policies that I really, really want to focus on first is community engagement. We really need to get back to that village aspect. We have to start talking to each other again. And unfortunately, in my city currently, there are no conversations, and I've looked. So it's really important to me to get into the community
30
first.
seconds
And
remaining.
That was the timekeeper. You have 30 seconds remaining.
Okay. And so budget transparency, community engagement, and most importantly, transformative leadership for a quality of life, because you got to live, love, and be where you want to be. Thanks.
Thank you, Erica. And look, we've got your website up so people can know what that is. We've got what you are running for, where you're running, and also your face so that the people can remember who you are, what you look like. You're a beautiful woman with a great sense of integrity. And we hope that you do well and that everybody pays attention to names, issues, people. We want that to happen.
Hope. Can't forget Hope with Pope.
Hope with Pope. Yes. Thank you so much, Erica. Please stick around. I'm going to be moving on. We're going right to Catherine Hardrick. Now, Catherine, if you could be there, and I also want Solange to be on screen at the same time because these issues are interesting. These issues and concerns are interesting because you two are both running in Snellville, but you're not running against each other. Erica,
Correct.
I'll ask you to get off the video because it's their turn. Thank you. So these two are running. I need the audience to understand that they're running for 2 different posts in Snellville. Okay. So you, the audience, you have to do your due diligence and homework to find out which of these 2 representatives, I'm going to call you a representative already, Catherine, which of these two representatives represent you? Because you've got to vote based on where you live. So, Catherine, you heard how Vonda, our timekeeper, kept time. You'll have 2 minutes after I stop speaking to speak. And at the 30-second mark, you will be told you have 30 seconds remaining. And then we'll move on to Solange. Okay, thank you both. Go ahead, Catherine. Same question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so very much. Thank you, GDW, and all of the listeners today. Again, my name is Kat Hardrick, and I am running for Snellville City Council Post 1, which is not the post with Solange Disdain, current Councilwoman Solange Disdain. So it is Post 1, so you both can cast a vote for both of us. I am running because I believe in a strong community, I believe in accountability, and I believe in transparency. The reason that I chose to run is because in 2020, when we lost Mr. George Floyd due to an assassination basically in front of all of the world to see, that moved me. And protesting was not enough for me to make change happen. And God led me into running. So I ran in 2021. I did not unseat the incumbent with 44% of the votes, which was 200 votes. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is very, very important that we get out and be a part of the change and cast our votes. If we want change, we have to go to the polls and do your homework. I have lived in Snellville for 23 years. I am a mother of 3, and I have been in the Gwinnett County public school system with all 3 of my children, plus my niece. And I know the importance of getting involved. I believe in community because without that, we are nothing. I don't care the biggest infrastructure. I don't care how beautiful the roads are.
30 seconds remaining.
You determine your quality of your community by the people's strength. And so that's why community is very important. And in order to do that, you have to have accountability and transparency from our local government. I'm asking for your vote. So because you too believe in community accountability and transparency, please go to electcat.com, learn more about me, sign up to volunteer, and make donations. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Kat. And again, as we've been trying to stress, that is Catherine Hardrick. You heard her speak. You see her picture. You see her website. You see the post that she's running for. So you can look at our tape. You can look at the recording anytime you choose after this presentation and refresh your memory as to who she is, what she stood for, and what she stands for. Thank you so much, Kat. We're going to move on, and please stay so that if there are any questions, we can come back to you. Thank you. Solange, hi. Hello, Councilwoman. The first Black woman elected to the Snellville City Council is running for Snellville Post 2 for re-election. So Solange, give us some words of wisdom, please.
Okay. Thank you foremost for allowing all of us as candidates to be here and introduce ourselves to you. It is very much appreciated. I just want to start quickly with my background since the first question was, let's get to know who you are, right? Okay, I am the first generation to be here in the U.S. I immigrated in 1976 from the Netherlands. I was born there, but I have a St. Lucian dad and a Surinamese mom. So, and I've traveled all over the place. So I'm well-versed in 7 languages, so I can communicate with people from diverse backgrounds, right? And I think it's so important to be able to speak with people or allow people to see people just like them, right? Who are being represented in the city. I also work at a local high school because I always say, and I always use these words, I like to play, live, and, work where I live, okay? So I work in my local high school and I teach ESOL, English Speakers of Other Languages. Because remember what I just said, when I came, I didn't know any English, and that was the last language I acquired. And so I know what it feels like not to be able to communicate with other people, with native, let's say, English speakers. Even when I was working at my former school, before I came to my local school now, I actually created a literacy program for the ESOL or the English speakers for the languages there. Excuse me?
She said 30 seconds remaining. You have 30 seconds remaining.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Okay, so what I want to continue doing though, okay, because I did so much, but what I want to continue doing is just take care of our businesses, work with them, support them, and also continue to find different strategies for the housing affordability crisis that we have. I mean, houses are going up. People don't really have the money to pay for the mortgage. It's becoming kind of difficult for them, especially for our youth. And also continue to expand diversity in my city. I've done a lot already, but there is more to do, much more work to be done in my city. And so that's why I'm running. I just want to continue what I've done.
Thank
And
you,
also
Solange.
to further, yes.
Thank you so much. And you know what? This lady is so amazing. I'm so glad that you have the chance to the audience to hear her in real time, to see
Yeah.
her face on the screen, to know that you could find out more about her on her website, and to know that she's running for post-2 re-election. She is the real deal. I've seen her in action. I know Solange's heart. You've got to make sure that you come out and vote for her. She more than deserves a second term on the Snellville City Council. Thank you, Solange. Please stay around, please. Okay, thank you. Okay, on to the next page. So, Solange, if you could close out just your video, because we have out Miss Yunmi Hampton. But before we go to you, Miss Hampton, I see your beautiful face. We also invited Miss Ora Douglas, who is running for Peachtree Corners Council, post 5. But this happens. Sometimes there are conflicts for our people who are running because they're running. They're not just running in fiction. They're running for real. So they're out there in the county campaigning. And so even though Ora Douglas is not here right now, you see her face, you know what she's running for, you see which post, and you can find out more about Ora Douglas on her website. So we appreciate the fact that she's running, and we want you to know. So moving right along to Councilwoman Hampton, who is the first Asian Korean councilwoman elected in Gwinnett County, and she is also the first Black woman elected to the Lilburn City Council. She is multicultural, multifaceted, multidimensional, and she is running for re-election in post 1 in Lilburn City Council. Thank you, Yumi. It's so great to see you. You have 2 minutes.
Good to be here. Hello, everyone. So, would you like me to start?
Yes, you have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay, start now.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Yunmi Hampton, and I always tell people, if you don't remember me, just remember you and me. Then you'll remember my name, Yunmi Hampton. I was born in Korea to a Korean mother and African-American father whom I did not know. And my mother raised me. She passed away when I was about 10. I went to Korean orphanage, got adopted, and that's how I came to States. And I lived in California, and I went to community college, and I got my licensed vocational nursing degree. And I have a husband who's 30 years, and I have one daughter. We're talking about voting rights. I really are strong about voting because voting is your voice. And so if you don't vote, you don't have nothing to say because your voice matters. And, being African-American and Asian, a lot of times, especially Asian community doesn't accept me as Asian, and the African community doesn't see me as African-American. Sometimes I get lost in the shuffle. And but now become a council person. Now I'm being accepted for both cultural, realize that I am Black, I am Asian, and I do speak Korean. Korean is my first language. So sometimes I do have a language barrier. So to me, educating the children, especially when they're speaking another language, is very important to start them, root them, because I didn't know when I went to college, that's when I learned that I didn't even know how to put the sentences together, like noun and pronoun. 30 seconds remaining. So, as a teacher, you have to, you said 30 seconds already?
Yes.
Okay, so voting rights, I'm very high on that. And I run the podium by STP, safety, transparency, and progress. And I know that I'm the best thing So I need to be voted because I really need to speak. I speak for the whole community, not just one race, but all races. So multicultural races. And I have been a volunteer to help everyone. So that's me.
Thank you,
You and me.
Yumi.
Vote for
Thank
you
you.
and me. Listen, one more time. Vote for you and me is vote for you and me.
You and me. Thank you, Councilwoman Hampton. Thank you so much for being here. And again, you see her on screen. She just spoke with you. You have her her website. You know that she's running for post seat 1 in Lilburn City. You're going to have to, as an audience, find out if this is the person who is going to represent you again. You've got to inform your vote by researching your vote, by name, by face, by issue. Thank you, Yumi. Please stay in case there are questions. Thank you. Okay, switching gears a little bit, because remember what the sheriff said at the beginning of this presentation. We want you to be aware that you are going to have to vote in November 2023, as well as November 2024. Demetrius, are you with us? And if Dominique is here, please let me know that. But I think Demetrius Nelson is here. I'm hoping. So, Demetrius, are you here?
We are still working out the difficulties with
the technical side?
technology. Yes, he's on the phone
Okay.
with Comcast right now. But
Okay, and I'm going to keep moving forward. I don't know if Dominique is here. Dominique, are you here? Sometimes technology conspires against us. Sometimes it works for us. Right now, we're going to keep running with the program, and we will come back to Demetrius. If he can't be seen on the screen, we do have his image here.
hey,
We have his website, and we will listen to what he says if we can't get his actual image up, if we can't get him to be seen. So we're going to go to the next page because I have some things that are really important. Again, another PSA, a public service announcement about GDW. FYI, for those of you who are listening, we are partisan. What does that mean? It means we are not going to ever, and I mean never, give a platform to anyone other than Democrats. And we were talking earlier, at least I was, about the nonpartisan labeling of positions that really isn't nonpartisan. Isn't it refreshing that GDW is only going to show you and present to you candidates and incumbents who are Democrats? So all of the candidates who speak on GDW events and programs are the people whose names you have to write down. You have to look up their record, if they have one, if they're an incumbent, and you have to look up what they stand for specifically. And you're going to have to write that down on a piece of paper. If you can't remember everybody that you're going to vote for, you need to write that down. You also need to check to see whether or not you have a sample ballot when you go to check your voter registration status. Election day this November 7th is, this November is the 7th, 2023, from the candidates you heard from previously. Those are 2023 candidates. Early in-person voting, as I've already said, for these municipal candidates who are running in 2023 starts on October the 16th.
Dr. Tracy?
Yes.
Mr. Nelson is ready.
Wow. Okay. And we will come back to this other half of these important pieces of PSA, public service announcements, in a second. So we're going to roll back. Look at that. Demetrius, can you put yourself on camera?
He is. And happy
He is.
birthday.
I don't see him. I don't see him.
I
You can't
see him.
I see you.
You
Yay.
see me?
I see
Yes.
you.
Ooh.
So Demetrius, let me just go backwards a second. So to make sure that people who are watching this and who
Okay.
watch it later understand that you're running in 2024.
Yes.
Okay, so we've had some of the 2023 candidates. Now we're trying to give you some shine, some intro about 2024. Demetrius is running for the GCPS school board. He is running in 2024. Dominique Cooper is also running for the GCPS school board. And so what I would like for Demetrius to do, because he has his own set of questions running for this position, to answer those questions, I'm going to give you about 2.5 minutes. We're going to give him a little bit more time Vonda, we'll give him 2.5 and then tell him the 30-second time limit at that time. Okay,
Got it.
Demetrius, you're on.
Well, good morning, ladies. Thank you all so much for this time and this and this opportunity. As Dr. Fisher said, my name is Demetrius Nelson, and I am running for GCBS District 3 for Gwinnett County Public Schools. So just a little bit about myself. As far as Georgia College of State University in public speaking. My master's degree is in education leadership from Concordia University. And then I have an advanced degree in education specialist from Piedmont, formerly Piedmont College, now Piedmont University. Some of my other experience also, my education also includes a certification in diversity, equity, and inclusion from the University of South Florida. And also I have some coursework that I've completed for education leadership for University of Georgia. And then additionally, I also have a certification in Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt from the University of South Florida. I'm currently also going through Metro RESA, doing an ESOL endorsement. And the purpose of the ESOL endorsement is so that way I can be better qualified and be more effective to reach the needs of our students. As we all know that our district is one of the most diverse districts. And so it's very important that we have leaders that are in place that understand the needs of our diverse students, and that everything is not as it used to traditionally be. I'm also a proud, devoted, and faithful father. You can ask Kim, you can ask my ex-wife, faithful father of one son who also attends Gwinnett County Public Schools, currently in high school. Y'all pray for me. I got 2 more years, and then I'm putting them out. I promise you. And so, as far as my career, I'm currently, as I said, 15 years. I'm practicing as an educator teaching 7th grade mathematics in a neighboring school district as well. So while I'm running for school board, the reason why I'm running is because we are at a past time in which we need people that are making those education policy decisions that have children and educators in mind. The 2 most important people that are in the classroom are your teachers, your paraprofessionals, and your
30
students.
seconds remaining.
Okay. And then so why I'm qualified is because I have the experience. I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. I am very familiar with the curriculum that circulates around Atlanta Metro District because I've been in several school districts. And the one thing that I would do upon winning this election is I want to reach out to all the community to find out what are the unresolved challenges. As John Lewis says, what are the good problems?
Thank you, Demetrius. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And I must say, that because we presented you and Dominic in this capacity, the audience's charge is to go to both of your websites, see what both of you stand for and what your priorities are, to know your faces, to get to know you. Voters have to be more educated today, and that's a good thing. More educated today than ever before. So I appreciate you. I want you to stay on camera. Please stay on camera. I want the other candidates to please come back on camera. Please come back on camera. Everybody, Solange, you, me, everybody come back on camera, please. And I'm going to ask the person who is monitoring the chat. I can't remember who quite that is. Gail, is that you? I think. If not, let's see. Let's see if I can do this the right way, folks. Okay, I think that's most of you. I can't see the chat, so let me think who is here. Is there a GDW member who can check that chat for me?
I'm looking at it now. I do not see any questions so far.
Wow.
I do see a happy birthday wish out there, though.
For who?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
For Demetrius?
Yes.
Yes.
Happy birthday, sir. We wish you all the best. Have a great.
Yes.
That's right. You told me that. He's got big surprises coming from his family later today. So he was so gracious to be here this morning. I think that's a great sign that there aren't a lot of questions for the candidates because they have all spoken so well. Hello? Yes? Couldn't hear you. Demetrius, did you have something?
Oh, I just said I welcome any and all questions.
Yes, we want everybody to ask questions, but we know that their visibility here is something that gets thousands, really literally thousands and thousands of views every time we have a program. I do want to get back while we're waiting for somebody to ask a question in the chat to those FYI pieces, that page that I was telling you. Democrats in general are in a nationwide political fight, no exaggeration, to save democracy. Okay, these labels are something that is a distraction. If you don't know who these people are that you're voting for, just because the label says nonpartisan does not mean they weren't partisan the day before. I'm very serious about that. So again, Democrats are in a nationwide political fight to reclaim women's rights. And this is across the board, down ballot, down issue, down city. If you're talking about maternal attention and the fact that women's maternal care and women of color, their maternal care is lackluster, to say the least, you've got to address these things locally at state and federal. Democrats are in a nationwide political fight to thwart voter suppression. I am trying my darndest today, as are everybody, as are all of these organizations that are featuring the candidates, letting you know you've got to know who's running. Every election is critical. We all must vote smart. Are there any questions in the chat? Okay, we're going to give each candidate who's still here and incumbent who's still here 30 seconds to speak. We'll start with Demetrius because he was last. You have 30 seconds to add something else.
So everyone, I want to say this. You all know the saying that diamonds are a woman's best friend, right? And so we think about the 4 C's. And so with my campaign, I have the 4 C's. And those 4 C's are courage, communication, okay, community, and character. And so what I'm doing with these 4 C's is creating a collaborative force in which we can foster those 4 C's. So if you believe in, which I do believe that you are one of those that possess those 4 C's, you just don't wear it, but you also bear it. I ask that you join me, that you support us so that we can reach the needs of all of our students. And
Demetrius, we will be featuring you again next year, and as well as the other candidates who are in your same lane, in the same party. We will be featuring them as well. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hampton, 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Seems like the time goes so fast. Okay. It is so important that I get the vote because we don't have runoff. Little doesn't have a runoff. So whoever hits the finish line gets to it. And I think that I'm the best for this community, not just my community, but I'm reaching out to everybody, because I am for everyone. And, don't know, it's just like voting rights, everybody, a lot of people die because giving us the right to vote. So I would like for everybody to come out and vote. Don't just say, I'm going to support you, but I need you to come out and vote. The action speaks louder than words, and that's what I live by. I'm more of a worker, doer than a speaker. Thank you.
Although she's a fantastic speaker too. I don't know what she's talking about, but the councilwoman is a fantastic speaker, and she's right. You've got to check your vote though before you try to vote. You got to make sure you're able to, because a lot of shenanigans happen, and you know what I'm talking about, to take voters off the roll. So we don't want to talk about that. We want you to actively check your voter registration status. Thank you, Councilwoman Hampton. Kat Hardrick. Representative, I keep calling her representative. I'm putting it out there in the state.
Their promotions. I love their promotions. Take it to the White House. Take it to the White House. I love you, Dr. Fisher. Thank you so very much. I'll just jump right in. Again, my name is Kat Hardrick. Go to electcat.com. Listen, everyone, it is very, very important. Local elections, I use the metaphor. If you're standing next to a stove and it's 500 degrees and the person is in the living room, you're the person that's going to feel the heat the most, the person closest to the stove. And that's what local elections are. So you need to get involved. Please start coming to city council meetings. We need young people from 0 to 100 years old. We need everyone at the table. Early voting starts October the 16th. You have 2 Saturdays, October the 21st, October the 28th. Those are the early voting days. November the 7th is the last day to vote. You have to go to City Hall, 2342 Oak Road for Snellville City Council races. You have to go to City Hall for municipal races, and that's this year. We need votes. We need volunteers. We need dollars. We can't do it without you, the people. Do your homework and find out why you should support me. I am in the community, and leaders should be plucked from the community, not someone that's assigned or chosen by someone who has zero idea of what your issues are. I am in the community. I constantly volunteer. I'm with veterans. I'm with people who are residentially displaced. I'm a mentor with young people. I help all types of people. So electcat.com, electcat.com.
And you know what? That is going to, we're speaking it to the universe. We're going to really make sure that people vote for you, Kat. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here. I'm doing it again. Representative Pope, I did it again. Candidate Erica Pope, please give us your wrap up too, please. Thank you.
Representative sounds really good though, honestly. So thank you. No, but really, I'm really looking forward to be the first Black youngest councilwoman here in Dacula. It's time for a change. I am perfectly fine with leading that charge. Municipal elections, of course, I'm really out there trying to educate people, for all of us, about the importance of municipal elections. So to be quite honest, to wrap it all up, www.hopewithpope.org. If you have any questions, I'm really excited, and I thank you for all the support.
Thank you, Erica. We're pulling for you too. And everybody needs to understand that we want you to do one thing. That's check your registration status and check where you're supposed to vote. You've got to do that today. And the powerhouse, Solange Disdain, Councilwoman Disdain, Snellville Queen.
Well, okay, thank you for
a longtime member of GDW. Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you for the title. Okay, so we're getting ready to wrap this up, but I just want to, just like all the other candidates are saying, and giving you the information, municipal elections are super, super important, okay? You have to know what happens to your money. You have to know what happens to your community. Because I am already on the dais, and I see a lot of things that shouldn't happen, but are happening anyway, because I'm the only person of color that sits there. The first woman of color, let me correct. And, you know, I've been told that I'm only one vote. I've verbally been told I'm only one vote. So I see what happens, and it's very important for you guys to come out and go ahead and vote. Bring people out to vote. I don't care where you get them from. Bring them out to vote is very, very important. I also want to just quickly go over this real quickly, that I am hosting another business symposium in the city of Snellville, a small business symposium on October 27th from 6 to 8 p.m. We will have a panel with people who have knowledge of small business, and key resources will be available to small businesses. This will take place at Snellville City Hall, 2342 Oak Road in Snellville. So please come again, October 27th, 6 to 8 p.m. Thank you.
And Solange, I hope you send me an invitation, because you know I'll be there. Whatever it is, I'm there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And Kat put in I can see the chat now. If you want to learn more and volunteer, yes, we didn't even touch on that. To volunteer and help, go to all of their websites to find that out. I sincerely hope, let me see what Councilwoman Hampton said something. I am not good at looking at this chat. I'm sorry. But I've got to say that I so appreciate, again, all of you being here. I appreciate the audience being here. We are so involved with trying to make sure to get your word and your vision and your visibility out. We're going to continue to do that. We're also going to be doing something similar to this in October for our October meeting, with hopefully the other 7 or 8 people who are either incumbents or running in the 16 cities in Gwinnett. Okay, keep that in mind again. You've got to check where you live, check who you are, check your name, check your address, do it before the 1st of October to make sure you're up to date on all of that. It's going to be very important for your vote. So I want to say thank you for your attendance at this particular guest presentation. Everybody that spoke, I've had the pleasure of meeting, and most of you working with. So we love the fact that you're representing our county and our cities, and you're doing such a great job. The diversity and representation in Gwinnett County is taking off, and that's what everyone else is worried about. Never afraid to say it, always gonna say it. We are partisan. GDW is partisan. We are trying to get you and your people to vote. And Demetrius, we have to thank you too, because we want to make sure we let everybody understand that men and women, this is GDW, it's the Gwinnett Democratic Women, but we have men who are members and who are doing the best that they can as representing Gwinnett as well. We want to make sure we thank Demetrius for being here as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Demetrius, thank you. So with that, oh, we have a question. We have a hand raised. Dr. Gail Mitchell-Shields, do you have a question?
Dr. Fisher, you do have some comments in the chat.
Okay.
You have a question about the consistency of the school board, who is actually going to be running from the school board, and you have some corrections to email addresses.
Okay, so what we're going to do for our members and for our guests, we are going to update whatever the documents are that we have before we share them again for our members. For those who are guests, who I hope will become members, we will put that on the website and on the Facebook page, whatever corrections we have that we'll make. As for more information about the school board, we're going to address that in October. We're not going to do that at this point because we want you, the audience, to do your due diligence and go to the websites as well. And because I am a massive stickler for time, as everybody knows, that is our thing. We're going to leave this meeting. For those who are members, we are going to have a 5-minute break so that everybody can get a drink of coffee or a sip of water. And you are to log back in to that to that link for members only. And yes, Solange has put in the chat, early voting October 16th to November 3rd. And we love y'all and thank you so much for participating in this September GDW Your Vote Matters event. Thank you.